Hello, dear listener. Welcome to Calm Cloud Chronicles, where imagination drifts and stories unfold. Sit back, relax, and let the journey begin. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more soothing tales. Let's bring the tranquility of the whispering forests to life. The sun dips below the horizon, its golden light fading into a soft hue of twilight. A weary traveler wanders into a vast, ancient forest where the trees stretch skyward like cathedral spires. Here, the air is alive with an eternal murmur, a language spoken only by the forest itself. It's not the rustle of leaves or the creak of branches, but a gentle, melodic hum that seems to rise from the earth and flow through the woods. As the traveler settles against a moss-covered trunk, the whispers begin to weave a tale. Each tree shares a fragment of its memory, the laughter of children who once played in its shade, the patter of rain through countless seasons, the songs of birds who nested high in its limbs. The forest's secrets become a soothing lullaby, a connection to the pulse of life that has always been here. Fireflies dance in the growing dark, casting flickers of light that illuminate tiny blooms carpeting the ground. The traveler closes their eyes, lulled by the symphony of the wild. Dreams begin to take shape, filled with scenes of warm sunlight filtering through leaves, gentle streams winding their way through mossy rocks, and the boundless serenity of untouched wilderness. In the heart of the whispering forests, the traveler finds not only rest, but a profound sense of belonging, a reminder that in the quiet embrace of nature, the soul can truly breathe. As the traveler drifts into sleep, the whispering forest continues its gentle serenade. The hum becomes richer, layered with sounds that resemble distant melodies played by unseen instruments. It's as if the forest itself dreams, its roots entwined deep within the earth, connecting to ancient places untouched by time. In the dream, the traveler becomes a part of the forest. They wander its endless glades, where the sunlight streams through emerald leaves in shimmering patterns. Each step reveals wonders, a family of deer grazing in a clearing, a sparkling stream singing its way through smooth stones, and a meadow blooming with flowers in colors the traveler has never seen before. They meet the ancient spirits of the forest, ethereal beings that glow softly and move like a gentle breeze. These spirits speak not in words, but in feelings, each presence washing over the traveler like waves of warmth, calm, and joy. They guide the traveler to places of breathtaking beauty, an enormous tree with branches like outstretched arms that cradle the stars, a pond that mirrors the moon so perfectly it's like gazing into another world. The longer the dream lasts, the more the traveler feels their worries melting away. The forest isn't just a place, it's a sanctuary, a haven for all who seek peace. And in the heart of this sanctuary, the traveler discovers something they didn't know they were searching for, a sense of wholeness, as if the forest has given back what the noise of the world had taken away. As dawn begins to touch the sky, the dream fades. The traveler awakens to find the forest still humming its gentle song, and the fireflies have disappeared with the night. The moss beneath them is soft and warm, and the air carries the promise of a new beginning. For the traveler, the whispering forest will forever remain a place of solace, a treasure hidden in the depths of the wild. The traveler gazes at the forest once more, a quiet smile tugging at their lips. Something has changed within. They no longer feel like an outsider wandering through its paths. The forest feels alive in a way beyond the physical hum of its roots and leaves. It feels like a guardian, an ancient presence that holds the wisdom of countless lifetimes, extending its silent protection to all who enter its embrace. As they begin their journey back into the world, the forest offers them subtle gifts. A small acorn tumbles into their palm, polished smooth by unseen hands, perhaps a seed of new beginnings. The soft trill of a robin follows them as if to guide their steps, reminding them of the harmony that exists even in the simplest sounds. The traveler walks toward the edge of the forest, where sunlight breaks through in wide, golden beams. But as they approach the boundary, they notice something extraordinary. The whispers from the forest don't cease. It feels as though they've taken the song with them, like a piece of the forest has woven itself into their being, a quiet, eternal companion. This story of the whispering forest is one of renewal, where connection and solace bring transformation. The traveler steps back into the bustling world with a heart unburdened, carrying the essence of the forest, its peace, its patience, and its gentle reminder of life's beauty. As the traveler steps into the bustling world beyond the whispering forest, their senses are heightened. The song of the forest lingers in their mind, blending effortlessly with the hum of urban life. Even in the distant clatter of a busy village or the steady rhythm of footsteps on cobblestone streets, they notice echoes of the forest's whisper. The beauty of the world seems magnified, as if the veil between nature and humanity has grown thinner. The acorn they carry feels warm in their hand, almost alive, as though it holds a promise for the future. Drawn by an impulse, the traveler finds a patch of earth along the roadside and gently plants the seed. Their hands move carefully, placing it into the soil, whispering a word of gratitude to the forest. Days pass, then seasons. The traveler returns to the spot often, watching the acorn grow into a sapling, and the sapling into a tree that begins to bear its own whispers. The townsfolk notice the tree's peculiar hum, soothing and melodic, much like the forest it came from. It becomes a gathering spot, a place of quiet reflection where people stop to rest and feel their worries melt away. The tree becomes a reminder of the connection shared by all living things, bridging the wild and the world. Its shade welcomes children with wide-eyed wonder, artists seeking inspiration, and wanderers longing for solace. And within its presence, the whispering forest's legacy flourishes, no longer confined to its hidden glades but alive wherever people gather under its leaves. As for the traveler, they move on with the forest in their heart, leaving trails of connection and growth wherever their footsteps lead. The whispering forest hums on, timeless and eternal, its song shared among all who have felt its peace. Years turn into decades, and the tree, born from the forest's gift, grows mighty and wise. Its roots delve deep into the earth, intertwining with the lifeblood of the land, while its branches stretch to the sky, catching whispers from the wind. The melody it shares evolves, carrying not only the song of the whispering forest but also the voices of all who have sought solace beneath its canopy. The town flourishes around the tree, guided by its silent presence. Generations grow up hearing tales of the mystical forest, of its eternal hum, and of the traveler who planted the acorn that became their guardian. The tree becomes more than a symbol, it is a unifying force, a reminder that peace and resilience can blossom even in the most unexpected places. In its shadow, people gather to celebrate life's milestones, to share stories, and to find comfort in times of sorrow. Artists paint its beauty, writers craft odes to its song, and dreamers see their visions reflected in its shimmering leaves. Over time, the whispers from the tree become a part of the town's identity, a living legacy that transcends the boundaries of time. And though the traveler never returns to the town, their presence is felt in every rustle of the leaves, every note of the melody that continues to echo. The forest lives on, not just in the tree, but in the hearts of all who've been touched by its song. Its whispers remind them of life's interconnectedness, the beauty of transformation, and the enduring power of quiet grace. Some say that on certain nights, if you listen closely to the tree's song, you can hear the voice of the traveler, still wandering through endless glades, carrying the spirit of the whispering forest wherever they go. Over the centuries, the mighty tree becomes a beacon for travelers, scholars, and seekers from far and wide. Each visitor hears a different melody, some find inspiration in its song, others solace, and a few find answers to questions they've carried in their hearts for years. The town, once humble, thrives as a place of pilgrimage and harmony, known across lands as the home of the whispering tree. Legends grow around the tree. Some say its roots stretch all the way back to the whispering forest itself, forming an invisible bridge between the wild and the world. Others whisper of its magical nature, that anyone who rests beneath its branches will find their dreams woven into the fabric of its song. It becomes a symbol not only of peace but of the endless cycle of connection that binds all beings together. The whispers spread further, carried by those who've been touched by the tree's melody. They plant seeds of their own, inspired by the traveler's legacy. Soon, whispers rise from other trees in distant lands, gentle songs that create pockets of serenity amidst bustling cities, remote villages, and unspoiled wilds. The tree stands steadfast through every change, unwavering in its mission to bring peace and reflection to those who seek its shade. As the world evolves, its whispers continue, reminding humanity of the enduring beauty found in stillness, in nature, and in the quiet hum of life's interconnectedness. And so, the story of the Whispering Forest, born of one traveler's journey, grows into an eternal legend, a legacy carried not by the traveler alone, but by every heart that stops to listen. As the centuries pass, the whispering tree becomes more than a symbol or a gathering place. It becomes a timeless legend intertwined with humanity's relationship to nature. Beneath its ever-expanding canopy, people from across the world share their stories, their joys and sorrows, as if offering them up to the tree's song. Each whisper carried by the wind seems to echo with the essence of these shared moments, growing richer and more layered with each passing generation. Around the world, other trees inspired by the traveler's act of planting have grown into their own sanctuaries, their whispers harmonizing into a global symphony. It's said that if you stand beneath one of these trees and close your eyes, you can hear not only the song of that tree but a subtle connection to the others, an invisible thread tying them together, like a vast, living network of peace and reflection. In time, the people who live near the original whispering tree decide to create a festival to honor it. The event becomes a celebration of connection and gratitude, where individuals come together to plant new seeds, tell stories of hope, and rekindle their bond with the natural world. The festival is named the Gathering of Whispers, and its message spreads far and wide, inspiring countless others to nurture not just trees, but the spirit of community and unity they represent. The traveler's legacy, once a single acorn carried from the whispering forest, now spans continents and cultures, showing that even the smallest act of care can ripple outwards in ways unimaginable. And though the original traveler's name is lost to time, their story remains, retold in countless variations, ensuring their journey and the forest's whispers live on in hearts and imaginations. The roots of the whispering tree stretched deeper into the earth with each passing century, anchoring its strength and gathering wisdom from the ancient soil. Over time, the symphony of whispers evolved into something wondrous. The melody seemed to shift and harmonize with the seasons, gentle and dreamy in the spring, bold and resonant in the summer, reflective and wistful in the autumn, and soft as falling snow in the winter. The tree had become an eternal storyteller, its song an ode to the passage of time and the interconnectedness of life. Word of the whispering tree's mysterious and soothing song reached distant lands. Curious travelers, poets, philosophers, and even weary rulers made pilgrimages to the town, seeking the comfort and clarity they had heard so much about. They left offerings under its branches, notes filled with dreams, stones carved with symbols of hope, or just their quiet gratitude. With each visit, the tree's whispers seemed to deepen, carrying not just the essence of the forest but also the collective dreams of humanity. Among these visitors, a child once arrived, small and full of wonder. They sat beneath the tree, listening intently to its whispers. Unlike others who came seeking answers, the child simply listened with open curiosity. That night, They dreamed vividly of the forest, of walking among the ancient trees and feeling their hum resonate through their very being. When the child awoke, they carried the dream in their heart and vowed to share it with the world. Decades later, that child, now an elder, returned to the tree, their arms filled with scrolls and books. They had become a great storyteller, traveling far and wide to share tales inspired by the dream they had carried since that night. Sitting beneath the tree, they read their stories aloud. The tree seemed to respond, its whispers harmonizing with the words, weaving the storyteller's dreams back into the melody. This act inspired a new tradition, a gathering where people would share their own stories under the tree's shade. These stories, sometimes joyful, sometimes bittersweet, became part of the tree's living song. It became a place where memories were not only preserved but celebrated, a testament to the enduring connection between humanity and nature. And so the whispering tree's influence continued to grow, not just through its song but through the countless stories it inspired. Its whispers carried across the winds, reaching the ears of those who had never seen it, reminding them of the beauty in stillness, in stories shared, and in the infinite connections that bind all living things. In time, the world itself begins to shift. Towns grow into cities, pathways turn into roads, and once open fields begin to sprout with towering structures of stone and steel. Yet, through it all, the whispering tree remains, steadfast and untamed, a gentle constant in a world of rapid change. Its roots have embraced not just the soil but the very spirit of the people, who now guard it as carefully as they would their most cherished memories. The stories shared beneath its branches evolve with the times. What once were tales of travelers and forests now include new challenges, new dreams. The whispers of the tree seem to adapt, too. Its melodies now carry notes of resilience, of balance amid chaos, of hope even in the face of uncertainty. It becomes a place where progress and tradition meet, an anchor for those navigating the storms of an ever-changing world. Among the many who visit the tree, a young artist appears one twilight evening. In their hands is an instrument they've crafted, a blend of materials both modern and natural, wood and metal intertwined. Sitting beneath the tree's canopy, they listen deeply to its melody. Slowly, they begin to play. The song they create isn't a replication of the tree's whispers, but something new, a harmony that blends human creativity with nature's ancient voice. The music spreads like wildfire. People from all walks of life are drawn not just to the whispering tree itself, but to the harmony it inspires. Musicians gather beneath its branches, crafting symphonies that echo its whispers. Poets write verses that capture the fleeting beauty of its melodies. Engineers and architects create structures influenced by its form, graceful and in tune with the environment. The tree's presence doesn't just soothe, it inspires, igniting a wave of creation and innovation that echoes across the globe. And the tree, silent yet ever present, continues to hum its timeless tune. Its whispers now carry the essence of countless songs, stories, and dreams, woven into a tapestry as infinite as the sky above. It is no longer simply the whispering tree, it has become the tree of eternal harmony, a living bridge between what was, what is, and what can be. As for the forest that started it all, its song lingers in the whispers of every branch, in the rustle of every leaf, in the soul of every being who has felt its magic. The traveler's journey, though long complete, has become the foundation of a legacy that continues to flourish, teaching each generation the beauty of connection, creation, and the whispers of life itself. The tree of eternal harmony, now standing as a universal symbol of connection and creativity, continued to flourish in a way that transcended the physical. Its song, woven with the melodies of countless generations, began to inspire something deeper, a collective consciousness, a shared sense of purpose among people everywhere. Through its whispers, it reminded humanity not only of their bond with nature but of their bond with each other. Far away from the tree, in places where its song was only a faint echo, communities started to gather beneath their own skies. They planted trees, shared stories, and created spaces to reflect and dream. These acts, inspired by the original tree's legacy, wove a global network of whispers, roots stretching invisibly from one soul to another, crossing borders and oceans. In the heart of the whispering forest, where the story first began, something extraordinary was happening. The forest itself, once considered distant and mysterious, began to open its pathways. People who ventured into its depths found themselves guided by an unseen presence, as if the forest welcomed their footsteps. They would find quiet glades filled with shimmering light, streams that sang softly, and even trees that seemed to hum their own unique melodies, as though responding to the tree of eternal harmony far beyond its borders. Among these explorers was a young botanist, drawn to the forest by tales of its ancient hum. With a heart full of curiosity, they wandered deeper than anyone had before. One twilight, as the golden light filtered through the canopy, they stumbled upon an enormous tree, its bark etched with intricate patterns that looked like stories told through time. Sitting beneath its shade, they felt a connection so profound that it was as if the forest itself had reached out to embrace them. From this moment, a new chapter began. The botanist, inspired by their discovery, dedicated their life to preserving the balance between humanity and nature. They created sanctuaries where the whispers of trees could flourish, where people could find peace, and where the beauty of the natural world could be celebrated. The forest, once merely a setting in the traveler's story, had become a beacon of hope, an endless source of wonder. And so the legacy of the whispering tree continued to evolve, not as a single entity, but as a movement, an infinite cycle of growth, renewal, and harmony. Its song, passed from one heart to the next, became a timeless reminder. Even the smallest actions, like planting a seed or listening to a whisper, can create ripples that change the world. The global network of whispers, sparked by a single acorn in the heart of an ancient forest, continued to flourish in unexpected ways. Over time, people began to understand that the harmony created by the whispering tree was more than a phenomenon of nature, it was a reflection of themselves. The tree's song seemed to resonate with the hopes, fears, and dreams of those who listened, adapting and evolving as humanity did. In a bustling city far from the original forest, an architect paused one day beneath one of the trees grown from its lineage. Inspired by its melody, they envisioned a new kind of urban landscape, one where nature and humanity coexisted, not as separate entities but as partners. They designed structures that mimicked the organic grace of the tree's branches, buildings that housed gardens and courtyards where whispers could echo freely. These urban sanctuaries became spaces of peace and creativity, where people could reconnect with the natural rhythms often drowned out by the noise of progress. Meanwhile, in the forest itself, its ancient song continued to guide those who ventured into its depths. Legends told of a place at its heart, a grove where the whispers were said to harmonize into a single, perfect melody, a sound so beautiful it could bring tears to the eyes and clarity to the mind. Few ever found this grove, but the stories inspired countless wanderers, drawn to the mystery and promise of transformation it offered. Among these seekers was a group of storytellers, drawn together by their love of the forest's legacy. They carried with them not just tales of the whispering tree but the stories of all the people it had touched. As they journeyed through the woods, they gathered in the evenings to share their tales, weaving their voices into the symphony of the night. And the forest, in its quiet way, seemed to respond. The wind carried their words to distant corners, where listeners would later swear they had heard echoes of voices long past. The storytellers never found the mythical grove, but they discovered something equally profound. In every glade where they paused, every clearing where they shared their stories, they planted seeds of connection. The forest grew richer, its whispers deepened, and its presence in the hearts of people across the world became more vibrant than ever before. The tale of the whispering tree, of the traveler who planted the first seed, of the forest that held a melody older than time itself, became a living story, one that grew with each telling, with each heart it touched. And as the seasons turned, the hum of the forest and its trees endured, a timeless reminder that even in the quietest whispers, there is power to inspire, to heal, and to unite. As the story of the whispering tree reached even the farthest corners of the world, its influence began to shape not just individuals, but entire cultures. Over time, the annual gathering of whispers grew into a global tradition. From sprawling cities to remote villages, people would gather under their own trees, real or symbolic, to share stories, songs, and dreams inspired by the harmony of the tree's melody. In one small seaside town, the gathering brought together a community that had once been divided. Beneath the branches of their own whispering tree, they rediscovered the power of listening not just to the whispers of the tree, but to one another. Stories of forgiveness and understanding replaced old grievances, and the town found unity in its shared reverence for the beauty of connection. Meanwhile, scientists and philosophers, drawn to the mystery of the original tree, continued their study of its whispers. They discovered that its song wasn't simply a phenomenon of sound, it had the ability to resonate with the natural rhythms of the human mind and heart, creating a profound sense of calm and clarity. Some began to wonder if the tree's melody was more than a reflection of humanity. It was a gift from the earth itself, a reminder of the interconnected web of life. Back in the Whispering Forest, the mythical grove, where whispers were said to harmonize into a perfect melody, finally revealed itself. A group of children, wandering through the woods on a bright summer day, stumbled upon it purely by chance. Unlike the seekers who had come before them, the children carried no expectations, only open hearts and curious minds. The grove was unlike anything they had imagined. Trees with silvery bark and glowing leaves surrounded a crystal-clear pond, its surface reflecting the sky like a mirror. The air was alive with a symphony of whispers, each note resonating with a profound sense of peace and belonging. The children stayed for hours, playing, listening, and feeling as though they were part of something far greater than themselves. When they returned to their village, the children brought the melody with them. They hummed it as they worked, as they played, as they fell asleep at night. Slowly, the grove's song spread through the community, bringing with it a sense of harmony and renewal. It was said that the grove itself had chosen to reveal its secrets not to those who sought it, but to those who were ready to embrace its simple, timeless truth. That connection is the source of life's greatest beauty. As the years turned into centuries, the legacy of the Whispering Tree and its forest continued to inspire. Its whispers became a symbol of unity and hope, a reminder that even in a vast, ever-changing world, the smallest seeds of kindness, of understanding, of connection can grow into something extraordinary. As the centuries continued to roll forward, the harmony of the Whispering Tree and its lineage found ways to adapt and thrive, even in the face of modernity. In an era dominated by technology and innovation, people began to weave the whispers into their new world, ensuring that the balance between nature and human progress was never forgotten. Artists and engineers collaborated to create immersive spaces inspired by the tree's legacy. They designed urban sanctuaries, gardens, parks, and even digital installations where the melodies of the original tree were captured and reimagined. These spaces became havens in busy cities, offering moments of peace to those seeking refuge from the constant noise of a fast-moving world. Scientists worked on projects to deepen their understanding of the tree's remarkable song. They discovered that its melodies had measurable effects on human well-being, capable of reducing stress, fostering creativity, and even aiding in healing processes. Inspired by these findings, they developed technologies that amplified the whispers, bringing the harmony of the tree into hospitals, schools, and homes across the globe. But even as these innovations spread, the original trees and their forests remained timeless, their whispers untouched by the advancements around them. Pilgrims still ventured into the woods, following ancient trails that led to moments of quiet transformation. And the mythical grove at the heart of the Whispering Forest, now simply called the Heart's Glade, became a place of legend and lore, its location known only to the forest itself. One remarkable tale from the grove emerged in the modern era. A group of innovators, tired of the overwhelming complexity of their world, chose to retreat to the forest for guidance. They carried no devices or tools, only open minds and hearts. 4 days they wandered, listening to the forest's hum until, one evening, they stumbled upon the heart's glade. What they experienced there was never fully shared, only that they emerged from the forest with a renewed clarity, their ideas reshaped into something that would bring harmony, not division, to the world. These innovators became ambassadors of the tree's philosophy. They championed the idea that true progress lies not in conquering nature but in learning from its inherent balance. Their work inspired a movement, a worldwide initiative to restore the bond between humanity and the natural world. From rewilding projects to sustainable communities, the whispers of the tree now guided an era of regeneration. In the hearts and minds of countless people, the whispering tree lived on not just as a physical presence but as a symbol of hope, connection, and the endless potential for renewal. Its whispers, carried through time, reminded all who heard them of a simple yet profound truth, that even in a world of constant change, the quiet song of nature holds the wisdom and grace to guide us home. The whispering tree's legacy grew into a profound tapestry, stretching across every corner of the world, resonating not just as a symbol of harmony but as a catalyst for transformation. As humanity embraced its song, new generations emerged, carrying the tree's message into uncharted realms. Artists and dreamers envisioned the whispers in ways never before imagined. Painters began crafting murals inspired by the essence of the tree, blending soft, flowing lines that mirrored its branches with vibrant colors that evoked its melody. Composers wrote symphonies that blended ancient forest sounds with the rhythms of modern life, creating music that could fill concert halls while still carrying the timeless intimacy of the original whispers. Technology began to evolve with the tree's harmony as its muse. Engineers crafted wind turbines inspired by the curve of its branches, allowing urban areas to harness energy in ways that mimicked the balance of nature. Programmers created virtual environments where people could experience the serenity of the whispering forest from anywhere in the world. These digital forests became sanctuaries for those who sought peace in places far from nature's reach. But even as the world moved forward, there remained those who journeyed back to the tree's roots, seeking the simplicity of its origins. In one such pilgrimage, a group of storytellers from across the globe gathered beneath the original whispering tree. They came not to share tales, but to listen to the whispers, to the forest, and to each other. What they discovered was a quiet truth. The tree's legacy wasn't just about the melody or the stories, but the connections it created between all who had been touched by its magic. Together, these storytellers wove a single tale, blending voices, languages, and cultures into a narrative that carried the essence of the whispering tree. This story, once shared with the world, became a beacon of unity, a reminder that even amidst diversity, there is a harmony waiting to be found. And so the whispering tree's song continued to echo across time, adapting to each new era while holding fast to its roots. Its melody became a thread woven through humanity's heart, reminding all who listened of the beauty found in connection, creativity, and the quiet resilience of life. Generations passed, and the harmony of the whispering tree grew ever deeper, its whispers transcending the boundaries of time, place, and even tradition. In every age, it found new ways to inspire and connect, proving that the song of nature is infinite and ever-changing. In one distant future, when the world had become a patchwork of green cities and wild landscapes, the legacy of the whispering tree flourished in unexpected ways. Humanity had learned to live in balance with the natural world, designing communities that thrived alongside ancient forests, rivers, and mountains. At the heart of these cities were sanctuaries dedicated to the whispering tree, a space where people could gather, listen, and dream. One such sanctuary was called the Circle of Whispers, a vast garden designed to mimic the original forest. Its centerpiece was a tree grown from the lineage of the original whispering tree, surrounded by pathways, streams, and quiet alcoves where visitors could rest and reflect. The whispers of the tree were amplified by gentle winds, creating melodies that changed throughout the day, evoking feelings of calm, joy, or introspection. But the Circle of Whispers was more than a sanctuary, it became a place for innovation. Artists, thinkers, and creators gathered beneath its branches, inspired by the harmony of its song. Their ideas shaped the world in profound ways, influencing everything from sustainable technologies to philosophies that emphasized connection and resilience. Beyond these cities, in the wild landscapes, the original whispering forest continued to thrive. Its mythical grove, the Heart's Glade, remained untouched by time, hidden from all but those who ventured into its depths with open hearts. Legends told that on rare occasions, the forest would reveal its secrets to those most in need, not to offer answers, but to remind them of the strength and wisdom found in silence and stillness. The forest itself seemed to hum with life, its whispers resonating not just in its trees but in the air, the earth, and the streams that carried its melody to distant lands. These whispers had become a guiding force, a reminder of humanity's place within the web of life. They inspired stories, songs, and traditions that shaped cultures across the world, keeping the legacy of the whispering tree alive in every heart. As humanity continued its journey, the song of the whispering tree endured, a timeless melody that spoke of connection, growth, and the quiet magic found in nature. It reminded all who listened that even the smallest actions, like planting a seed or sharing a story, can echo across eternity. As the legacy of the whispering tree expanded, it began to transcend not only cultures but generations of thought. Its melody became a bridge across the ages. In a time when humanity had ventured beyond Earth, planting settlements among the stars, the tree's whispers found their way into the heavens. In a domed colony on a distant planet, a sapling grown from the lineage of the original tree was planted in a central plaza. The settlers, far from the forests and oceans of their homeworld, had carried its seed as a symbol of connection and hope. As the sapling grew, it began to hum with a faint melody, adapting to the new winds and strange soil of the alien world. It became a living reminder of the bond humanity shared not only with Earth but with the wider universe. The tree's whispers resonated differently in this new environment, their melody mingling with the unfamiliar sounds of the colony. People said the whispers carried not just the memories of Earth, but a sense of boundless possibility, as if the tree itself was evolving with its new home. Beneath its growing branches, settlers would gather to share tales of their journey to the stars, their dreams of exploration, and the hope that guided them through the vast unknown. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the original Whispering Forest remained as timeless and untouched as ever, its mythical grove still hidden and its ancient trees thriving. Though the world had changed around it, the forest stood as a sanctuary, a place where the whispers carried the weight of history and the promise of renewal. In the quiet of the forest, a young poet, lost in their thoughts, wandered through its winding paths. They had heard the stories of the whispering tree all their life, but had come seeking something more, a sense of clarity, a connection to the world beyond their own struggles. When they finally stumbled upon the heart's glade, its beauty left them breathless. The melody here was unlike anything they had imagined, soft yet powerful, carrying emotions they could feel but not quite name. The poet sat beneath the glowing trees, and, for the first time in years, they felt truly at peace. As they listened, their heart grew lighter, their mind clearer, and they began to write. They poured their thoughts into words, crafting verses that captured the essence of what they felt, the timeless harmony of the forest, the resilience of life, and the quiet strength found in the whispers of nature. When they left the grove, their poems carried the melody of the heart's glade to the world. Their words inspired countless others to seek the same sense of connection, sparking a renaissance of art, music, and storytelling rooted in the wisdom of the forest. The poet's verses became part of the tree's legacy, their words woven into the melody that echoed across time and space. The song of the whispering tree continued to evolve, carried by hearts both on Earth and among the stars. It reminded all who listened that no matter how far humanity journeyed, the whispers of connection, hope, and renewal would always guide them home. And so, the story of the whispering tree finds its conclusion not in an end, but in a timeless continuation. Its melody, carried by roots and whispers, hearts and stars, lives on as a gentle reminder of the beauty in connection, growth, and harmony. From its first hum in the heart of an ancient forest to its echoes across distant galaxies, the tree's legacy becomes a part of the infinite story of life itself. In every song sung, every story shared, every seed planted, the whispering tree's spirit endures, a quiet and eternal guide for all who choose to listen. Thank you for being a part of Calm Cloud Chronicles. What kind of stories help you relax the most? Please let us know in comments below. If you enjoyed this story, let us know by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Until next time, stay peaceful and keep dreaming.